Kathy.
Call this committee of the whole meeting for June 20th, 2022 to order at 7 p.m. I'd like to acknowledge that we're on traditional land of Richard Wayside Cree Nation, homeland of the Métis, and that we're all treated. Okay. Councillor Wong.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I add one more item to the tonight meeting? I think it would be appropriate because the director is here. So can I add it to 6.2?
Jenny, or I'm just thinking that we had sort of set it up that there wouldn't be, but I'm just checking with all.
The majority agree.
What is it?
6.2 update for the excavator from a waste disposable ground.
I'm okay with it.
I was going to say,
I'm okay with it.
I was
Don't
going
get
to
off
reach,
date.
excuse me, I'm going to reach out to the Director of Public Works to see if you're prepared to give any updates at this time. Pardon?
In camera, absolutely. In camera, I would be absolutely.
Oh, okay, we don't, if this isn't in camera. So we-
Why do you need to be, sorry, Madam Mayor, why do you need to be in camera? It's just update, see what's going on.
Depending on what the information is, sometimes it does need to be in camera.
Something need to be in camera.
Okay,
Either way, yeah.
yes,
Madam Mayor, if I could request that the council was willing after the regular order of business that we stay behind for the few minutes is going to take to get an update if that's what it is, because if not, apparently we're not going to get the update. And there may be things that can't be said, I don't know, so I would request that we stay behind for a few minutes after, that's my request.
okay, I am just, okay, I'm going to ask for maybe a clarification, can we have an update meeting without giving notice
In camera?
in camera? Can you hear you there? I'm just trying to go with municipal bylaws here, Councilor Alfred.
Well, Madam Mayor, if we don't have anyone that can advise us in council, we're the elected body, then I would suggest we would make the decision if we would want to stay behind for an in-camera meeting. If Council Wong thinks that important, then I think we should stay and listen to what he has to say.
Okay, who all's in agreement of staying behind for after the regular meeting for an in-camera meeting?
One item.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Let's discuss in the public the possibility of using the Ukrainian resettlement program. So just a quick conversation about how we might take advantage of that. We could add that to the agenda today.
Didn't I see something that there's a meeting with the immigration?
Yes, there is
On
an
this?
upcoming meeting this week. So if we could put that off until we've had some meetings with them. Thank you.
So how was that meeting around here?
It's
Not this week.
The third, June
30th.
And is that the topic of that meeting around there?
I believe it is one of them, yes.
I'll leave
Thank
that.
you. Councilor Valentino.
Thank you, Mayor Smook. There is a process that we have on adding things to an agenda in a timely manner instead of last minute at these meetings. And that includes like now going into in camera. So council should be aware of the process to do this instead of doing last minute to our administration. So just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Okay, we have got, it was majority that asked for this after, so we will go a few minutes for this time, but Definitely, there is a process to be adding things to agendas now. Next, I would like approval of the agenda. Councilor Colburn, Deputy Mayor Lundmark, all in favor?
Aye.
Community comments, feedback? Please state your name.
Ron Maticek, 20 Ash. I just want to make mention here of how I believe Councilor Wong is constantly railroaded, and this is a perfect indication how when he asked whether or not he can add something to the agenda, instead of it going to council and voting on it, it goes directly to a different question of putting it in camera. Why not vote on what he asked? And then if it's voted down, then you move forward. He's just thrown to the side.
Thank you for your comment, sir. It is noted that there is a process to put things on the agenda. Thank you. Any other community comments, feedback? Ask the final time. Any more community comments, feedback? Thank you. Seeing none. We'll go into reports. First, we'll go into the May check registers. Jenny?
I think we're looking at report that's attached.
Thank you. Any questions on the May check registers? Okay, seeing none.
Bring them up there.
Okay.
The first check there, month site limit that's 03433 or 223721. What was that for?
That's all that the.
Oh, it's the all net. Yeah, I was looking at it. I wasn't sure what it was for. Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we will move this forward. Next, we have Public Works report.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read through the entire report, but I'll give you a few of the highlights. Our pothole crews and street sweeping crews are working from 7:30 a.m. till 12:30 a.m. As well as our curb and sidewalk crew and our lawn repair crew have started. We have 182 lawn repairs to do for this year. So far with the rainy weather we've been having, we have had a week and a half worth of work, and we've already completed 17 of those 182. So this is moving in the right direction with lawn repairs. Our curb and sidewalk crew has also completed the riverside area already for pouring concrete, and we'll be moving on next to the Westwood area. The plan for our lawn repair crew is to follow our curb crew. So we had to get them started, so we started them in the Southwood area and some in the Juniper area that they can do now to catch up on previous ones from years back. And then they'll be moving on the riverside and this fall, watch them follow that concrete for the rest of the season. Our clean community program is up and running. I believe this is the last week for it. Participants could submit their pictures and photos, picking garbage, and be entered into a raffle to win weekend passes for nickel days. As well as the grand opening for the Jumpstart Park was held on Monday, June 13th. For now, and great enough for all of us.
Thank you. Councilor Fong.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's good to see that lawn repairs are on the list here of things that are being addressed. I just would throw a question to men if they'll answer. Last year, my understanding was we went to a repair by area strategy, which left some people that have been waiting for 5 years without being addressed. I'm wondering if that's still, we're still targeting areas versus getting the oldest ones first. And if that's the case, does that then leave the possibility for some people having no repair for a 6th year?
Thank you. Neil, do you have an answer?
The oldest repair on our list is actually 3 years. There's kind of 3 years on our list. Going around the thing. Flying up with all of our oldest water break families, so our oldest repairs will be 3 years old. Our plan is still to follow behind the curb and sidewalk crew. They have fully concrete as the sidewalk before we put the tops road. As last year was the first year that Public Works actually took over lawn repairs. re-strategize and put, more onus on our line repair crew to have them done, so. There's been more stricter timelines, deadlines for the taking finish, so. Our plan, unless we get a summer full of rain where there's nothing that we can control, our plan is to have a lot of people here.
So you're still going by area.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Councilor McMurdo?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Spook, and thanks to the Director for Public Works for that information with regard to the lawn repairs. This question's kind of in keeping with that. I see that 11 service line repairs have been completed to date with a 4-year average of 41. How many are there outstanding for this type of break? Does the Director have that information? If I could ask through the chair, and if I could follow up, would there be room on the schedule this year to address those that are currently outstanding? Thanks.
Neil, you didn't hear you.
Yeah, for. Or, just a clarification, are you asking for lawn repair repairs or are you asking for actual water break service line repairs? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was asking about the service, the line breaks themselves. I seen that 11 service line repairs complete. And I was just wondering first, how many were outstanding that the city was aware of? And then as a follow-up, if the city would have time to schedule those currently outstanding for repair this year.
I don't have the number off the top of my head. I'm sorry, for how many we have outstanding. I don't believe there's very many on the board right now. Every water break we have is prioritized, so water main breaks obviously come first and foremost. It affects more people, and there's a higher flow coming out of the main breaks. But service lines are usually completed with in a timely manner as well. So we try our best to repair all our breaks in the quickest possible time.
Okay, thanks. I don't, some people have brought some information and it's case by case to me outside of this. Is there any chance that you could come back to council with the current number of service line breaks that the city has outstanding?
And also, Councilor McMurdo, if you could maybe bring that information forward that you have to the service line to make sure it all lines up, the individuals that have contacted you.
Okay. I passed along to Anthony just verbally at another time, but for sure I can talk a little bit more about that. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Councilor Ellsworth?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The first one, I want to go back to, I'm not sure with the water service break, hydrant break, but across from Martin Bay on Deerwood, when we go around the turn there, it's been leaking for months. I know Councilor Colburn and I have driven by there a number of times, and certainly he's pointed it himself to me. It doesn't seem to be a big rupture, but a steady flow. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, it hasn't been months that it's on the board. It's, I believe it's a service line break. I'm not as well. There's no, it's not affecting any big water pressure in the area or anything like that. And it's just being.
And I have one more question. My question is on the wastewater treatment plant. During the winter, we had a lot of expense that we had not budgeted for, hauling sewage away from that plant. And now when I look, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's completed, which is a good news story. But I guess my question really is, the things that is fixed, was that what was causing all the problems? Because I know when we commissioned the wastewater treatment plant, I believe it was during the summer, and actually I'm told, I'm no expert in this field, that certainly things work a lot better in the summer than it does in the winter. So I guess my question is, have we fixed it, or will we be expecting issues in the winter similar to what we've had?
We are working with, we're fixing every issue that we come across. We don't want any issues, period. Wastewater plants are a finicky science, and during the winter months when the wind is it's colder than you would get in the summertime, it takes a little bit more tweaking for the plant to get it operating properly, but it's an ongoing science for that plant. And not to put anybody on the spot, but there are two counselors in this room here that could speak to wastewater plants as well. That it is an ongoing tweaking, and to make sure that you're getting proper treatments.
Councillor Wong,
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to touch on the lawn repair again. Even after the council. I will ask about the question. I just want to know, Madam Mayor, regarding this number, I'm glad that there's a number, so at least we know what are we facing of this lawn repair. It's about 182, but I still like to know what are we target about this year? Is it going to take a couple of years to get all that done? Or we going to take 3 years, 2 years, 1 year? What is the target? I like to see that projection. That way we can tell when people call them and say, look, this is what we try to achieve this year. Hopefully we can achieve, and then later on, if we still have time, I'd like to see, well, we can put a bit more. So I'd like to see that type of the planning. So last time I asked, so I'd like to ask one more time. So I'd like to see the planning for this part of a job. And I don't expect there will be an answer right away, but I'm just saying, hopefully that we be prepared for next meeting, that we can have that kind of equation. And second question will be, I want to touch on the wastewater treatment plant. It looks like a lot of things repaired. I'm just wondering, is it because of based on the poor quality of the construction cost all this, because it's brand new facility, $36 million. It to me, it doesn't sound right, in my opinion. So what is that cost? Can we have some sort of idea why is this so many things need to be repaired already in the second 1 or 2 year brand new? So can I have some sort of idea about that part?
I think, Casey, your first question was on the lawn repairs and that, of which I heard 17 of the 182 are already completed, and you're on target. Neil?
Yeah, for the water repairs, our plan is to complete all 180 this year. That is my goal for this. If we get rain every day or every night, that's a different story. I can't control the weather. You can't do a lawn repair when it's mud. But my goal is to fix every single one. We've been going for so long that we have been backlogged that they get the phone call that I've waited 3 years for my lawn. It's not acceptable, and we want to make sure that we take any of this and get them fixed and move ahead. Our cutoff, so if you do get phone calls for lawn repairs, our cutoff, anybody dug after May of this year will not get a lawn repair done this year. It has to settle. The ground has to settle for at least a year. Otherwise, we're just gonna end up having to go back. One sit down another 3 years time. So that's our goal for this year. We want to complete all of our lawn repairs. Again, I can't control the weather, so as long as the weather permitting, we absolutely looking for it. Wastewater treatment plant, I don't necessarily have much of an explanation. I mean, it's an ongoing process with that. It's a brand new plant. Most from what I hear, it takes 5 years for a new plant to really get up and running properly, and how you actually want it from new construction. We've been working very closely with the designers, water service board, to make sure that this plant is operating properly, and any issues that come across are fixed.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilor Colbert?
You said you want to fix 182 water lawns this year. How many right now, if you can tell me, is in the city totally?
Is
Is it
what?
182? Is that what's there, or is there more?
182 are ready for repair, so anything done prior to May of 2022 is ready for repair. So there's 182.
And like, thank you, the water break on Deerwood is fixed. It was done this week, or late last week.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions, comments on the report? Thank you very much, Neil. Appreciate it. Thank you, council. Next, we'll go to recreation. Director of Recreation, would you like to
Just
update her?
summarize, I'll summarize it. We've had recently, just last week, actually, we had another replacement for tax enforce, the TRCC. The bylaw enforcement, we had at the beginning, I believe it was last night, we had 78 derelict vehicles that were identified. As of last week, we have 35 vehicles that have been removed from the property. 7 obtained the derelict vehicle permit, and we have 36 today remaining in the community. And I was told this morning that that's actually even less than that right now, which I think is pretty good for 1 month. We've got one in the community, and they're not in the community. They were not taken to those disposal grounds that were taken out of the community. The CSOs, we continue. We still have 4 CSOs, and we're trying to stagger their shifts. We are doing foot patrol. The regular foot patrols will be when we have the double shifts that I guess 4 of them are working at one time, which is between 5 and 7 o'clock. We are into summer breaks or summer vacation, so we're going to be down to possibly 3. So we're going to be back down to just 7-hour coverage versus the 12 that we're having before. However, even those 3, and they are doing patrols in the evenings. The issue that we do run into when we are doing foot patrols is we don't have a vehicle to pick up any intoxicated person if they need assistance at that point. So then we are then relying on the RCP to come and take that person or individual to lodge them in to lodge. We did take the CSOs today. They did a tour of the Polaris building as well. For when that facility opens, they figure out what their responsibilities were to be there. The fire department, we have our new fire truck. It survived the service. We also actually, I was just told yesterday, we have a hydro provided us or gifted us a 2008 Polaris ATV. Still on report, but I just wanted to put it in there. We didn't have an ATV. We had a Land Rover from Hydro, so now they've gifted us one. We have our own ATV. And under recreation, we're National Teachers Day is tomorrow. And we're also working on Canada Day events. We've ordered our supplies for our rec room. And we're currently obtaining, getting quotes for redoing the racquetball rooms. We did receive a grant from the Thompson Community Foundation for racquetball rooms. So we're hoping to have that done within the next, before the end of the year. And we also held a meeting on June 13th with all the user groups at the TRCC. Oh, I guess I should add on as well. We started putting flowers up around the community and finished off today with the forms just to let us know.
Thank you. Councilor Wong?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Quick question about the fire truck, the old fire truck. Is it possible to keep it as a backup?
It's currently right now over at Public Works. I was told it was too old for us to be able to keep it. We should be getting rid of it. That's why we have it outlined in the one. So to keep it as a backup, I'd have to check with the fire chief to kind of see what the regulations are for that.
Can I follow up?
Mhm.
So if that's a logic, they said too old, so if we option out, who will buy the fire truck then? Gotta be some municipality or smaller town to get that as a fire truck. So if it's too no longer good for use, why they're allowed to buy and use it as a fire truck? That part is just, it doesn't make sense to me. If they can buy it as a fire truck, why can't we use it as a backup truck? That's what I try to understand the law and the logic about the age of the fire truck and all that. To me, that truck is new, like a brand new to me. So anyway, I hope I can get some answer for that part.
I can speak with the fire chief.
I think it's kind of, sorry, I think it's kind of waste to sell it. That is a nice piece of equipment that we can use it. Sometimes it's good to have a backup, right? Anyways, that's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Lambert?
I was just gonna try and chime in on the old fire truck thing. I know that there's something in the act that says that vehicles can't be used past certain times, so I hope that the administration can just let us know what that is, so to answer possible question. I know that there was lots of fire trucks, it's 25 years. It can't be used in Manitoba, and it was really weird because when I worked for, what was that version of affairs, now it's Indigenous Reconciliation Organization. We had to get over back our trucks that were for like Ross Lake and Portage, Hickory Name, and those trucks disappeared. Like, and I thought that back then, I thought we could buy a move. I know that at that time, years ago, Thompson had a fire truck. Great for some of these larger small communities, right? And but it's been years since I looked at that act, and I just thought fire chief might know exactly what it is and why, or if it can be used in Manitoba. I think that they get sent out of province. Or it could be used maybe by somebody private, but it's something to do with our act that regulates stuff.
We'll definitely check more into that and get back to everybody. Counselor Coburn, do you have your hand up?
No, but I was thinking about the fire truck again. 2 weeks ago, I got a bunch of pictures from Milford, lived in Milford, but everybody knows. They had a fire. They got no fire. So there's a way that we could help people who help us. Now, I don't know, like Councilman Mark said, we might not be allowed to do it because of regulations. But for the used fire trucks, I'd say there's lots of wants in this province. Thank you.
Thank you. And I know there has been people approach us over the last year when they knew we were buying our ones. Counselor Murdo.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Smook. Thanks for the report. A few comments for me I've been running my dog downtown, so it is great to see the CSOs patrolling down there well into the evening. It's a tough job, but between them and the RCMP, I'd just like to commend them on their efforts. And I commend those who are working on the Beautify Thompson campaign. I seen some folks planting flowers on Friday, so that's good. And also the pool, very excited to see the finalized drawings at the end of the month. And judging from some of the conversation at our budget presentation, be lots of other residents that will be excited for the final rendition of those as well. And just finally, hope everybody can encourage or enjoy the festivities for National Indigenous Days and Canada Day coming up this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Counselor Brown.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I may have missed it, but along with the final drawing, are we getting an estimate, the final estimate?
We should be getting the 99%. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Anything else? Thank you very much for the report. Thank you, Council. Next, we have the mayor's report. This was sort of a long one. It goes from May 17th to June 20th. I attended the Northern Health Region team meeting with Minister Gordon on May 19th. Met with key partners in the RCMP on May 26th. Attended and brought greetings of Manitoba Provincial Mine Rescue Competition on May 28th. Along with Deputy Mayor Lundmark, Councilors Ellsworth and Wong, and City Manager Anthony McGinnis, we attended FCM's 2022 annual conference and trade show in Regina from June 7th to 5th. On June 8th, the Thompson Aboriginal Board meeting with signatories and partners and MKO's King team meeting. And held along with City Manager Anthony McGinnis, we met with the Berkwood Curling Club. Mayor and Council hosted the AMM Northern District June meeting, and the public hearing for the financial plans were both held on June 9th. Along with council members and administration, a breakfast meeting was held with Minister Pinyuk at Thompson Community Development Corporation meeting was held that day also, and we attended the announcement with Minister Pinyuk on June 10th for the new bridge. Along with council members and administration, we met with Laura Mady from the assessment branch on June 14th. Attended and brought greetings to the 33rd Northern Social Work Program graduation on June 17th, to which Councillor Ellsworth's daughter-in-law was a recipient and have done very well in class. Attended and brought welcoming remarks at the Leslie Turner Traditional Powwow on June 18th, and met today with John Bertrand of CBC Manitoba, who informed us that the North Country show that used to be on up here is going to be revamped, and there will be representation of CBC in the north in the very near future. They're putting out the ad this week. Thank you very much. I did attend PDAC, Prospector and Developer Conference in Toronto last week. It was not sponsored by the City of Thompson. Community Economic Development Fund and Mining and Mineral Development Fund sponsored my travel and hotels and that there. So thank you. And it has been a busy couple weeks, and it is only going to get busier. Thank you. Next, we're going to go into Public Works. We have a memo from the Director of Public Works in regards to the contribution agreement received from the province of Manitoba for the Juniper Park upgrade.
Yeah, so this is a contribution agreement from the provincial government for the Building Sustainable Communities Program. We got a grant from the provincial government for $300,000 as a matching grant, so the total project is $600,000 for Juniper Park. It's looking for, we're looking for removing the existing wading pool, constructing a splash pad, new play structure, and upgrades to the building. It's recommended council approval.
Thank you. Any questions? Councilor Colbert?
Did we budget 300 or 600? In the budget?
From our.
Yes.
Ours was 300. And
No,
then
it says here our share. How much did we budget?
We budgeted 600.
600. So now we got a surplus of 300,000. But we budget 600, and we got a grant from the government now.
for 300.
That was.
That's 900. Okay,
Neil?
Out of the $600,000 that we budgeted, $300,000 was through this grant. So the city's fund, the city's portion of that $600,000 that was budgeted is actually $300,000, the other $300,000. Because it is coming through the city, it has to be put in the financial plan.
but we didn't have the grant,
You got $300,000.
not then when we done our budget, did we? Was the grant okay?
We had applied for the grant. It
Wow.
was what we had applied at the time when we did budget. And it was on contingency of getting the other 300,000 that we didn't park this year, and we did receive the grant. Jenny, you wanna go further on that?
Yeah, we said we received the notification that we received the grant for finalizing the budget. So I'm putting it in there.
Okay.
Deputy Mayor Lambert?
Now,
No, I'm just gonna try and explain that to you, that, we received the notification, but we didn't have the agreement yet. So we have the budget already shared the 300,000 share. And it looks like it's all in the financial plan because well, it has to go through our bank, that's all. And so just another good news item on our with this agreement, we're cost sharing with the province to upgrade one of our facilities. I know how much that arena was used in the winter and how much smart flash pads are being used throughout the community. So getting going, I think that one's down right now too, so looking forward to having one. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Collins.
Thank you, Mayor. If I could through the chair, ask administration, what percentage of that 600,000 would be going towards improvements to existing infrastructure? So the arena or the play structure that's there already.
Yeah,
Currently, there is no replacement. There's a slide that's used that.
It's still. play
Yeah,
structure.
that's like, and you want the slide, we'll have to do. slide. But the swing sets are swing sets, so that you know, develop, and go back in better condition. But then there's the infrastructure as well. The wading pool itself is going to be removed for the splash pad to be installed. And the outdoor rinks, the boards are they're just wooden square boards right now, square corners. So our hope is to have a professional board system on there and if possible resurfacing the outdoor rink so it's not just sand and can be used year round. As opposed to just
Just to clarify, none of that 600,000 would be for taking out some of the older obsolete equipment up there.
It would be for the.
Is it? Oh, that's good to hear. Thank you.
And just for clarification, there has been talk of a partner coming on also with that, with additional funds. That can't be shared just yet, but it's definitely is going. Okay, anybody else? So can that be moved forward to next Monday for ratification? By show of hands? Yeah, hands or not? Okay, thank you. Recreation, a memo from Director of Recreation and Community Service. This is in regards to amended ice allocation policy.
So we held a meeting on the 13th of June, with the user group. We provided the ice allocation policy and your guide. We had 3 organizations that did show up, although other ones did contact Brianna, and they had no concerns or issues or any additions or anything that they wanted us to do in the either document. They were actually happy that we did have the arena user guide, and we had some guides in place as to what the expectations were of them and the expectations of the city. So yes, we have no additions or additions to the document that we present.
Pastor Elford.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I certainly took the time, read through the document, read through the memo from our director. I will tell you, I sat on a lot of rec committee meetings over the last 4 years before we no longer had them, and there was always yearly, we would get someone coming complaining about the ice time, complaining about this and that, and a lot of merit to it. And so for me to read through this and see the work that was done, it appears to be good work, and in the memo, it certainly aligns the fact that our people have met with the users. They've agreed to whoever showed up have agreed to it. Didn't seem to be an issue. I don't deal with that stuff, so I'm quite pleased with what I've seen and read. And certainly it'll be nice to be able to go maybe again back to a rec meeting one day and have them come and congratulate us rather than kick us. So I thought it was a good job myself personally.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Pastor Valentino.
Thanks, Mayor Smook. My comment is through the chair in regards to the comment about additional meetings if needed. I would suggest that gets kept close on the radar, because as the groups start up again this fall, and it will be an actual startup coming out of COVID, that there may be a real need for a user group meeting once everybody's up and running and figuring things out and they have new people involved in their organizations. So I would just like us to keep an eye on that there may definitely be a need. And I strongly believe that the communication with the user groups has to continue and be the forefront to make that facility work. So thanks. Now that the user groups have been communicated with, I think this is fine. I had already read the document. So thank you, Sonia.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Lamar.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Sonia. Thank you for your staff. Appreciate that. Went through that user guide. I'm sure there'll be some questions, but it's beautiful when you have something black and white and people go over that and know what their rules are. I'm sure there's going to be some bending, but at least they know exactly where we stand. We're appreciative of having it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, show of hands, moving the policy on to council next week for ratification. Carried. Opposed? Carried. On to legislative legal. A letter received from Shadow Minister for Rural Economic Development and Rural Broadband Strategy, inviting the city of Thompson to a future town hall, asking city to express the three most important issues impacting our economic development of a rural community. Penny, did you want to comment on that?
I think that just, this is the agenda items that the three most important issues impacting our economic development of the community, so I guess just to figure out how to get that information back to them.
Mr. Lundmark?
No, it's not supposed to be our subcommittee or something anymore, but I was just saying to Councilor Ellsworth that we should send this to our Office of CDC, Community Development Corporation, so that they can get to, maybe they have some ideas or questions that they'd like to give to us to send them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sounds good. Anybody else? Councilor,
I think it's always good to hear from a different group, and I know right now we're getting into big detail. That economic development in Thompson is sometimes stopped or not moving very fast, and we know, those of us that sit on the community development committee, that there's a lot more that can be done. We're coming out of a pandemic. We need to move forward. We need to broaden the tax base. So anything that we can help anyone that's from a lobby for us or get some ideas on how to do that, we should be part of that. And certainly, I think that any of us could sit down and give them 3 ideas, but thinking too much about it. Thank you.
thank you. Councilor Powell?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We don't have a lot of crown land leaseholders at the city of Thompson for obvious, well, maybe not obvious reasons, but all of them are likely residents of Thompson. Anyone who's familiar with our city knows that there's a significant land surrounding us with a lot of possibility for economic development by using that land. The current rules around crown land use are onerous, and I would think that it would be in the city of Thompson's best interest to work with the province to make it easier to develop land outside of the city, but within the planning district. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think some of those are talks that are starting to happen.
So
So everybody's in agreement that we will follow up with this meeting. Okay, thank you. Next, we have a letter from Manitoba Hydro in regards to Indigenous engagement, public safety, shoreline stabilization and debris management annual report. I trust everybody has read the letter. Is there any comments from administration? Any comments from council? Okay. Seeing none, we'll have a letter for information. Next, I'd like to call for adjournment. Councillor Colburn, Deputy Mayor Lundmark, all in favor? Carried.